Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our monthly webinar series. This is October edition. My name is Gift Isiguzo, and I'll be your host for today's section. It's our pleasure to have you join us once again as we continue our mission to enlighten, empower learners for digital skills for the future. To begin today's section, we will start with a short documentary video that highlights who we are, what we do, and the vision driving our community. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Watching this video. Up next, we'll be hearing from our CEO, Ms. Maina Ijeh, who is the visionary leader behind many of our initiatives at Speedlink High-Tech Solutions Limited. She will be sharing a few words with us before we proceed.
Okay, thank you, Gift, for the introduction. Good evening, everybody. My name is Maina Ijeh. It's so great to have you all here for this month's webinar series. In fact, I'm honestly excited about today's topic because it touches on something that affects all of us, and that is the future of work in the digital age. Our theme, Digital Careers of the Future, exploring opportunities in cloud computing, cybersecurity, multimedia, and content creation, may sound like a mouthful, but really it's just about one thing, and that is possibilities. You know, technology is changing everything in today's world, from the way we work to the way we create and the way we connect. You know, new ideas are emerging every day, and most of the exciting ones revolves around cybersecurity, cloud computing, and content creation. However, the good news is that these fields are not only for experts, actually. You know, anyone can venture into this field as long as you have the willingness to learn, to adapt, and to grow. And today's section is a chance to explore what opportunities in this field look like. You know, you get to hear from experts and people making waves already in this field, and hopefully spark new ideas that help you figure out where you fit into this digital ecosystem. So as we begin, I encourage you to put your pen on paper, you know, take notes, and don't hesitate to ask questions. You never can tell. Something said tonight may be the inspiration you need to make that one big move. Once again, welcome. Let's make this an interactive and engaging section together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma, for that inspiring section. Now let's move straight to the main section of today's webinar. Our topic for this evening is Digital Careers of the Future, exploring opportunities in cybersecurity, cloud computing, multimedia/content creation. We are privileged to have distinguished lineup of speakers who will be taking us through these exciting areas. We have Engineer Ibrahim Salami, who will be taking us through the cybersecurity aspect of today's section. We have Engineer Daniel Oni, who will be taking us through the cloud computing aspect of today's section. And we have Mr. ThankGod Ibeh, who will be taking us on the multimedia/content creation aspect of today's section. So get ready to learn, engage, and be inspired as each speaker takes us on an insightful journey through their field of expertise. With us is Engineer Daniel Oni from MTN. Engineer Daniel Oni is a dynamic and result-driven IT infrastructure and pre-sales engineering professional with a proven track record of delivering innovative solutions that bridge technology and business strategy. He's currently serving as a pre-sale engineer at MTN Nigeria. He leads the technical solution design and consultative engagement across 18 states, empowering businesses with scalable ICT solutions in connectivity, cloud, data center, and IoT. His ability to combine technical depth with commercial acumen has enabled him to close high-impact projects and foster strong client relationships across diverse sectors. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me on Speedlink webinar this month. It's good to be here. Thank you very much.
Okay. He'll be taking us on career opportunities in cloud computing, the roles, certifications, and salaries, which I'm sure that every one of us wants to hear about that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Engineer, please could you tell us your journey so far, your experience with MTN, how you've been working there and how you've been working in this field?
Okay, so thank you for having me on this show, this webinar for this month. Basically, my role has been to be a bridge between customers and businesses who are seeking out to develop solutions to solve some of their technical needs, maybe around IoT space or cloud or data center, majorly. And my role is to have that technical engagement to ensure that all of their requirements are structured, all of their requirements are noted, all of their needs are catered for, and then we're able to ensure that we deliver to the scope of whatever the customer or the business at NBC. The business can be technical, can be a tertiary institution, can be the health sector, can be the fintech, or can be the banking sector or thereabouts, whatever area or verticals of business that they are into. My role is to be the technical bridge between that business and them and us. For us in our space, you are aware, MTN just launched our MTN data center and MTN public cloud, and then we have been asking businesses to come host with us here in MTN and all of that. So we've moved from being a telecoms company that everybody knows MTN to be a technology company, and then we are now driving digital transformation of different verticals of businesses across different sectors here in Nigeria. And then that has been where I've always operated and where I've always played. I've been that technical bridge between businesses and MTN, that we can now call a cloud service provider, local cloud service provider in Nigeria. So it's been a wonderful journey so far, and having some foundational certifications also that has helped to drive those technical conversations basically. So it's been a wonderful journey, and I am hoping that the young ones also that are coming on board can also take this opportunity also to start building their career around cloud data center, which is almost like the journey to the future, because basically it's a rapidly growing industry, it's a rapidly growing space, it's a rapidly growing career path with different and diverse career paths for every young one to key into. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We have lots of students who are currently taking trainings in our center in this field of cybersecurity, cloud network, cloud computing, and they are very curious as per to know the in-demand career in that field right now, as pertaining salary scheme. Okay.
Okay.
Second, you share with us from your years of experience in the industry on that area. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that. Because generally, there is no career fulfillment if the Naira and Kobo is also not factored in. Because you must do something that puts food on your table. However, just like I always say, the money is not supposed to be the first key driver. Rather, it is you having that ability to be a solution provider as a person, be a value-added provider within an organization or thereabouts. So it is people pay for values. People do not just pay for certifications or pay because you have XYZ number of certificates or thereabouts. So for the young ones who you are training within the Speedlink organization, there are a lot of career paths that one can set within the cloud computing space, in no particular order, and not in any saying this one is better than the other one or thereabouts. There are several career paths one can build. One can become a cloud solution architect. One can become a cloud DevOps engineer. One can become a cloud security engineer. One can become a cloud network administrator. One can become a cloud technical support. You can even become a cloud technical account manager. Different career paths can always be built depending on your area of interest. Do you want to be a developer? Do you want to be a designer? Do you want to be maybe someone who is good in networking or thereabouts? There are several areas you can build your capabilities and their capacity. It is you opening up yourself. There are foundational certifications, majorly from all of the hyperscaler clouds that we have around. Most of the hyperscaler clouds that we have, that's AWS, which fortunately have the largest market share currently in the cloud computing industry. They have about 30 to 32% market share. They have a lot of certifications that can become a career path for everyone who intend to specialize on one area or the other. You can say you want to specialize in cloud networking. You can specialize in cloud security. You can specialize in cloud administration. All of these career paths have multiple certifications that you can take, that you can build your capabilities and capacity. And the same thing also for Microsoft. Microsoft have Microsoft Azure Cloud, and they have about 23% of the market share, and also the GCP, that's Google Cloud Platform, that has about 12% market share currently. When you look at some other hyperscaler clouds like Alibaba, Oracle, IBM clouds, several cloud providers with their own certifications. So currently for me, I am also building my capacities around Microsoft because that's somewhat a partnership that our organization also have. And we are a certified Microsoft partner also, apart from also having our own MTN public cloud. So basically, there are a lot of career path that can be built. And trust me, because it's a rapidly growing industry, businesses, organizations are they are so much in high demand. Whether you are a cloud support engineer, whether you're a cloud DevOps engineer, you are a cloud solution architect, you are so much in high demand currently because it's a rapidly growing industry. And every industry is sourcing everywhere for them. And because you also have the capabilities and capacities to also work remotely, you can even be here. I was just checking online one of these days. An average cloud network engineer, an Indian average cloud network engineer earns about $500,000 annually. But let's just put it moderately, between $80 to $500,000, depending on your specialist level or thereabouts. It's a high rewarding, and when it comes to the salary, just like you said, you wanted to know, you are looking at the annual salary of about $83,000 to about $500,000, depending on your expertise level or thereabouts. So it's so much an environment that the young ones can go, depending on, they just need to just check online. I've given some examples of some of the career paths. It's just for them to check online and find out which one suits each of their capabilities and capacity. And I know that them doing that and picking up any of these, they are able to grow and expand there from there. Thank you very much.
All right. The money I'm hearing, I shall not venture into cloud. Because me, I want to make money too.
Yes. It's a rapidly growing environment. Market projection is telling us that there are several market drivers because it's been driven by artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics, and even majorly now companies are also looking at hybrid kind of model where they have local server on-prem, and also they are trying to have some of their workstations, some of their workload in some of their particular class. So that's giving room for a lot of CapEx to OpEx adjustments for businesses or thereabouts. Many are transforming to become remote working environments and all of that, so as to lessen some of their capital expenditure and all of that. So it's so much a wide space to work. It's so much wide career path that can be built. All everyone needs to do at this moment is find your space, find where you can fit in the cloud. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for this section. It has been an engaging one, and we've just been talking about the experience. Okay, so I want to ask, is certification enough to start up a career, to get well-paying jobs in the field of cloud computing, networking, or cybersecurity? Or would you advise the audience and our students to combine both certification and experience? Okay, and then while at that, you could also recommend certifications available in the industry to position the students and our audience in the global opportunities, and maybe some training centers that could give the kind of certification and practical training experience.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, we are generally in an age where certificate alone is not sufficient, but certification gives you focus and direction majorly. What I would advise the young ones who are listening to us is the best time to start your journey in cloud computing, cybersecurity, or whatever career path of the future, the best time to start is now. Africa generally, we are not yet there. We are still on the journey, and therefore there is still so much room for the first set of people who could key in into all of these sectors. We are building capabilities around the fintech, agri-tech, edtech, edutech, and all of that. Definitely, people who are cloud solution architects, cloud DevOps engineers will definitely be needed in all of this sectors. And so the best time to start building your capabilities is now. Getting certifications alone may not suffice. You need to know how to apply, because what you study and read in an exam or thereabouts, you still need a place where you're going to execute what you have learned so far. So I would, for some of our viewers, majorly some of us are around here in Port Harcourt or River State or thereabouts, I would suggest and I would recommend Speedlink, high-tech solution and a place for you to learn. I have known so much about what they are doing around training in data analytics, cybersecurity, cloud computing, etc., etc. So it's all, and even they are also a certified center to write some of the certificate exams for cloud for cloud computing and all of that. So basically, what I would suggest for everyone is you can start majorly. You can start your certifications around AWS. AWS, you can start some of their certifications like solution architects. You can start with Microsoft as well, maybe writing your fundamental exams, and then from there you start building your capabilities, either to be a design architect, or you are going to become a network engineer, security engineer, or thereabout. You can start with the fundamental and the foundation, which is you writing some of the fundamental certifications on AWS or Microsoft Learn platform. It's just you checking certifications available or career paths available in Microsoft Cloud. You can just check online career paths that are available. You'll be able to build your capabilities. Luckily enough, many of them already have access videos, training materials, training documents, training learning pages where you can learn about all of these the certifications, and you even have a lot of demo sites where you can even test some of the exams and all of that. However, just getting all of the certificate alone would not be enough. You need to also look for small organizations small businesses where you can apply what you have just earned as certificates, and from there you look the bigger picture and bigger players where you can always work and operate. So what I would advise young ones is certification is not enough. Get a place where you would also apply what you have learned, so that you can own your skill and have the experience to really compete in the real world of cloud computing. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Okay, Engineer Oni, we have some questions from our online viewers who are very interested in this, and they've been following. So I'll read out the questions to you, and you will help us do justice to it. Okay, the first question is, many of us are interested in both cloud computing and cybersecurity. Is it possible to combine these fields in one career path, or should we specialize early?
Yeah, so because it's a rapidly growing industry, thank you very much for that question. Because it's a rapidly growing industry, there is so much room for growth. There is so much to learn, even on that cloud itself alone. Not to talk of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity also is so wide, and the cloud computing, except you want to become a jack of all trades and master of none. I would rather advise that instead of hopping from one to the other or thereabout, kindly just stay on one career path and build your capabilities. If you want to stay in cloud, stay in cloud. If you want to stay in cybersecurity, stay in cybersecurity. Luckily enough, there is always a point of interjection between both of them, because there is no how you're going to build your cloud environment, have your workload in space without you having security, security measures around it, not to be exposed to cyber threats or thereabouts. So it's just like you building a big house without arming your security man. So there is always that point of intersection between them and all of that. But what I would rather advise is stay on a career path, build your capability, because there is so much to even learn within the space of cloud computing. Just on the top of my head, I can give you almost like 20 career paths in cloud, just as we speak. Not to then talk of the cybersecurity space also. So it's so wide, it's so large. You can be a cloud solution architect, a cloud developer engineer, a cloud technical support, a cloud data engineer or thereabout. A lot that you can become within the space of cloud. And also in cybersecurity, you can be an ethical hacker, you can be penetration tester or thereabout. So it's so wide, and there is no need of modeling of things or thereabout, and then you become a jack of all trades, a master of none. So if you want to stay on cloud, stay on cloud. If you want to be in cloud, cybersecurity, be on cloud cybersecurity, the sky is so large for every bird to fly. Thank you.
All right, so just a quick one, this from my end. Based on what you just said now, are you trying to say that even if can I still have a ground knowledge of those other ones that I'm not specialized in?
Yes, you can. The internet is so wide for you to learn a lot of things. Personally, myself, I studied as an electronics engineer, basically telecommunication engineer, but I'm learning part of sales. Along with the sales.
That's dicey.
So there is no hard and fast rule about you trying to know about some other things or the other. But it's so it even makes you a versatile person when you can almost like contribute in discussions around the different aspects of businesses or thereabouts. When you're on the roundtable, you can talk a little bit about cybersecurity, talk about cloud, talk about data center. Even data center itself has its own certifications. If you check Schneider has a lot of certifications in data center management. And so as you have in cloud, you have in cybersecurity. So you can, it's not bad if you have an idea of what happens in other spaces or thereabouts, because you cannot say, no, this is only what I know. I don't want to know any other thing. No, knowledge is universal and can be attained and achieved everywhere. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. So the second question is, what steps would you advise a young professional to take in the first 2 to 3 years after certification to grow fast in the industry? And how important is mentorship in that journey?
Okay, thank you very much. So what I would advise a young one to do at this time for the first 2 to 3 years is don't chase the money first. Rather chase the application of what you've been certified in. Don't chase the money first. Chase the experience, chase the skill, chase the application of what you've been certified in. You've been certified. Maybe you have done your AWS cloud certification, and you've been certified as a solution architect. Find a business and organization where you can learn how to design solutions, how to architect some designs, how to implement workload in the cloud. Seek for places where you first learn all of those in the first 2 to 3 years of your career. When you have started and known that, then with that 2 to 3 years experience, definitely when you are going to the big organizations or thereabout, they will know you are coming with experience. You are not just coming as a jolly just come who wants to use their place to start learning or thereabout, because majorly many of the businesses and the top businesses are won't be so much patient to start training because they are also competing in a rapidly developing world. So they needed people who are experienced, who are already specialists, who would key into their business strategy and objective for the year.
At this point, they don't need someone that is learning.
They don't need someone to be doing a try and error thereabout. They needed someone who already. I remember when I also came into this place or thereabout. The employment is like it's specialist. It's not like we wanted to come and start. It's because you are bringing some capabilities and experience that you have learned over years on the job, and that gives you the opportunity. So what I would tell the young ones, there's no need to be hurry. I want to quickly get to this company. No. Take your time after your certification. Look for places, even if it's not about the payment, it's about you being able to gain that solid experience. And from there, you can transition to bigger ones. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Any last words for our viewers and our audience?
Okay, so for me, last I would tell our viewers is the best to start, and the best time to start is now. The best time to have started was yesterday. But if that was missed, the best time to start your journey is now. Discover your capabilities, identify your skills, identify your strengths, and be ready to build your capabilities and capacity around whichever career path you choose. But I can guarantee you that the sky is so large for every bird to fly. And I am wishing and trusting the Lord that you're also going to succeed on this career path. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. So to our audience and viewers, if you did not take anything home, let me tell you this one. Do not just focus on the money aspect. Gain experience. Money will definitely come.
Yeah.
So we can level up in cloud DevOps, cloud administrator, cloud data engineer, and cloud security. That is the what's it called? That's the career path that money is flowing now. So this is where money is right now. So let's focus on this career path so that we can get the money we're looking for, because everybody needs money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Dr. Engineer Ibrahim Salami, a highly experienced telecommunication professional with over 15 years in the broadband and fiber optics industry. He currently leads the service delivery team at FiberOne Broadband Limited, where he's been instrumental in expanding reliable high-speed connectivity across Nigeria. Dr. Engineer Salami holds a PhD degree in communication engineering, and he's a current certified engineer and proud member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He's passionate about network innovation, cybersecurity, and the future of digital connectivity. And today, he will be sharing his insight on how cybersecurity is shaping the digital career of tomorrow. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on this section this evening.
Yeah, I'm delighted to be here. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. Once again, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the audience, and thank you, the moderator. Thank you, the engineers behind the screen. What we actually want to discuss today is the future of cybersecurity. It is not naysay again that it has become a norm, and it has become the talk of the day that cybersecurity is now a new trend in our society. But before the advent of cybersecurity, it is what we call the internet. It is the internet. Without the internet, we don't have to cyber securing ourselves, because for everything that we have in life, you have to secure it if it is something of value. So where do we come from? The point of security comes from because we are now more exposed. Our data is almost everywhere. We have footprint everywhere. So before we can even talk about cybersecurity, we cannot leave internet out of cybersecurity. The cyberspace is now a space whereby enormous things are happening. In the cyberspace, we have the fintechs. In the cyberspace, we have the telecom space inside cybersecurity, the network space in cybersecurity. All are interconnected. So without the network, without the telecom space, without all the OSI models in all the models in OSI, you cannot even talk about the cybersecurity. So there are so many what do we call it, the bedrock. There are so many bedrocks that makes up this cyberspace that we are talking about. In this cyberspace, we can talk about all the social media engines. For example, now we have the X space, which is the Twitter space, in the space where you can interact, in the space you can meet up, in the space where so many people talk about their personal life. So much things are being put on the internet. Now, for everyone in this digital space, every one of us have our digital footprints everywhere on the internet. And if not properly secure, or if we are not taking into consideration the security, then we are heading for doom, because we have so many elements, we have so many people behind the scene that are trying so much and so hard to deprive people of their added money, their identity. We have identity theft, if you must know, on the internet space. And it is very, very important, and it's jamming for all of us to be secured where on the internet. It is so simple to be hacked now with just a simple link. And we have to all be conscious about this. So, but the future of cybersecurity is very bright. It's extremely bright. The world is now a global village whereby everybody is interconnected. Every minute we are sending information. Information spreads wider than before it used to be. Before now, I could remember in the days whereby I could remember, because I am a millennial and I experienced the age whereby there is no internet, and the age that whereby we have limited internet, and the age where we have enormous internet. So the age that we don't have internet, there are times that my peeps will send me down to Ibadan just to take information down there. Let's say, for example, somebody gave birth in the family in Lagos. I have to go to Ibadan via transport to deliver the message, because you cannot write letter. If you write letter before it gets there, it takes some days. If you have to go to Nitel to make a call, you have to queue, or sometimes the line is not even going through. That's the days that coppers are being used. And now let's bring it back to the days where we have limited internet. It is limited people that even have access to the internet as compared to what we have today. Almost every home has internet service, and some homes are even running on IoTs. That is Internet of Things. Some homes, every element in the house are on the internet.
Thank you very much for that. So, can you please freely share with us about your experience in both fiber optics? That's what you're into. Fiber optics, telecom. You've already spoken about cybersecurity, and how has your journey been so far?
Okay, so let me start from my educational background. I started my life from a small suburb in Lagos called Abeson. In that Abeson, I went for my primary school, and same Abeson, I went for my secondary school. And secondary school is Abeson High School. It's in the same suburb. And I graduated from there and proceed to Polytechnic of Ibadan to have my ordinary national diploma in electrical electronics engineering. And, at that time, you don't actually even know what the future holds. We are just doing. But there is a friend of mine, I could remember, he asked that, what is your plan after an ordinary national diploma? And I said, well, I'm coming back for my HND. And he said, why would you want to? You are not a potential for this space, and you are a potential for higher learning, like university. And I said, what does he advise? He said, okay, you can go to the University of Ibadan or any other university. And he mentioned Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. And that's okay. So during my IT, I was teaching. So I had to now go back to Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, where I had my degree in electrical electronics too, through direct entry. And I had my degree in 2008. So in 2007, I did my IT at an ISP company called KCON Technologies Limited. KCON Technologies Limited. That is where I did my IT, 6-month IT. That is where my path now becomes shaped. So what they do basically is both VSAT and radio wireless communication. That's the two basically that they do that time. And also at the point, we still have a little of DSL, that's digital subscriber line, where we use copper cable and taking internet on dial-ups. And we have only that on the VI, and that's Algorodinho in VI, Monacom. I don't think they exist now again. So then we are providing internet service for clients using the backhaul of SAT3 then and VSAT. But the VSAT is not much, but we are doing majorly of SAT3. And basically the connection is fiber connection back to back with modem in between. So we are getting that bandwidth and it's connected to our BGP router. Then from there, it is now redistributed on all our switches, then to all our access points that we are using to. So then the radios we're using, then we have the Teletronics, the Mikrotik, the Terrabeam, the Canopy, Motorola. Those are the radios that we use basically then. And you know, nobody wants to teach you anything. They will ask you to just open your eyes. And all this I'm saying is in the IT, during my internship. And during that internship, I was like, is this how the future is going to be? Then I'm ready to keen. As at the same time, I'm doing my internship at Kcon Tech. I had an offer at Obert Oil to join them as intern, but I weighed my option. And I said that I don't think there's future in oil and gas. It's already saturated. And I picked telecom. And I'm still telecom till date. From there, I spent, after my degree, I went back to school after my degree. I went back and I was retained as, I did pre-service. That's like 3 months before service. And after my 3 months for service year, I served with Kcon Tech 2 as transmission engineer. So basically what we are doing, we work on triangle radios, longer radios that are doing transmission from point to point, 120 cm antennas, and SAF, different kind of radios in between. And to the point where we are now deploying radios that are not being even known. So because we have a partner in China that is always deploying and modifying radios. So there are some radios we have on the network. We have Link, we have Paco, we have Freelink. All these links are not even popular, but we use it on the network in Kcon Tech then. And I was transferred to Port Harcourt to go ahead River State Metropolis as the regional manager, and that's within 1 year. So, and I spent 11 years in Port Harcourt, where, so it is Kcon Tech that now metamorphosized into FiberOne Broadband. We still have Kcon Tech as the mother company. We have the sister company now that is FiberOne Broadband. So when the fiber space came, we now to, you know, you can't be comfortable using one technology. With the advent of interference on the radio space, it is not properly managed by our regulators because anybody can use any frequency they like, and that causes interference. So now you have to innovate. So what's the next innovation? Then thank God, then we now have the WDM technology. That's the wavelength division multiplexing. That is now what made it easy for us to do transmit both on one core, on one cable. We can do both transmit and receive. That is where we now have FTTH coming into play. But before now, there's nothing like FTTH. Before now, we are doing 2-core. You run cable, you use 2-core, put media converter to do your conversion. But now we have just one cable doing both transmit and receive. That is why it is easy for us to start splitting all these power, and so that we can use just one pump to serve many customers, as many as we can. But we have standards and we have regulation. I don't want to go into the GPON technology because I don't think we have time. So in this space, I was able to now go for my master's in Port Harcourt. That's after 13 years I left school, and in the same space, I did my current in the same space. In the same space, I become a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers in the same space. In the same space, once I'm done with, immediately I finish, because you can't be comfortable. Once you are comfortable it means that everything is gone. Then you're not ready to evolve. So I had to go for my PhD. I never even knew that that was going to happen. And in 3 years, I was able to bag it with a lot of work, and so much was done. And in the same space, I was promoted to manager. Then from the manager, I become head of my unit. At a point, I was the head of service delivery across the country, managing all the fiber space to Abuja, Port Harcourt, Lagos, Ilorin at a point. But because the network is enormous and FiberOne has over 70,000 customers across the country, only in Lagos alone, we have over 30,000 customers.
So that's very nice. Thank you very much for that. So on to the next question. With cloud services depending heavily on, I said with cloud services depending heavily on fast and stable internet, how does fiber optics infrastructure shape the reliability, speed, scalability of cloud computing, especially for enterprises in Africa?
All right. So for me to deep dive into this, the topology of the internet space, before you can even talk of cloud, there are infrastructure on ground that make up cloud. Cloud is just a space, a server, a space where things are dumped. And it's like a cyberspace. It's a data center that we have so many servers that are sitting down there. And we have so many services running on this. So for these cloud services, it means that before you can have connections to that, you must be able to have a connection to the internet, because majority of these services are hosted on public IP addresses. And once you can access those public IP addresses, you'll be able to access whatever service that is on all these cloud services. Now, to come to your question and to answer it properly, the connection between locations and between two locations, once your distance is more than a particular distance, you have to introduce DWDM. That is dense wavelength division multiplexing. At about, let's say 90 or 70 kilometers, you have to start introducing it so that you have to amplify your power. Else, your power will dwindle before it gets to where it's going. And the same technology we are using is what we are using on the submarine cables that is coming to us. And don't forget, even in Nigeria, we have so many data centers. We have one in Ogombo, in Lagos, the data center in Ogombo by Main One. They are building another one in Port Harcourt, in GRA, at Orobum Crescent, very close to Salvation Ministry, at the back gate. They have, they have a data center they are building there. Talk to Africa is building a network from Eket. Already it has landed in Eket. Once we have that, it's going to change the face of this cloud computing. We are going to have a fast internet. Once that enters from Talk to Africa, to Africa. If it enters through Eket, which means south and southeast now, without depending on Lagos for lease line, can now have enormous bandwidth to the internet. You know what that means? That is River State, south to the internet, without depending on Lagos for lease line, which means the cloud services for the south, the southeast is top notch. All we need to do is to do a metropolitan fiber cable between cities and cities.
All right,
using the WDM network. Thank you
very much, sir. So, seeing the current trends and efforts by the Ministry of Digital Innovations in Nigeria as regarding fiber optics, cloud computing, and internet penetration, what do you think is the hope for Africa? Do you think it will actually make the necessary waves and moves in enhancing connectivity?
Yes, it will, but we have challenges, and the challenges are the saboteur of this world. They are sabotaging fiber cables, thinking it's copper. They are cutting cables. We have miscreants, touts, community boys cutting cable because they want to extort, and we have intentional sabotage. by even the telcos themselves, constructions everywhere. In maybe last month, my bulletin from MTN, they said there are 19,000 fiber cuts this year alone. You know what that means? If MTN, as giant as they are complaining of that, who is every other person? Because even the government is not looking in the space. Construction will just happen. Fiber cables are cut in. Fiber infrastructures are destroyed. Fiber infrastructures are destroyed. So, and it is a good thing that the federal government, through the NSA, that's the Nigeria Security Advisor, has declared fiber infrastructure as national treasure, just like your own. So we have a space in civil defense, the CNI, they are the one in charge of that. If you are cutting a fiber cable, you'll be treated like oil bunker.
That's a very nice action to take.
Yeah, yes, if that is taken care of, we are in the right direction, and it's going to help the growth of Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So we have some students who are hooked up on this webinar today, and they want to hear about how they can fit into all of these efforts by the Nigerian government. How can they come in, and where can they start their training? Could there be of help? How they can be of help to talk to us about, could you be of help to talk to us about it and areas where they can do their internship after their training?
Oh, okay. For the future, for the our new students that are aspiring to become a telecom engineer and to be in cybersecurity space, the digital space, we have to be committed to take on challenges. The age is changing. The age of information is actually gradually facing. We are in another phase now, another era, whereby everything is staring at you in the face. You don't even know where to go to. But luckily, a lot of these big telcos and let's say Maina, FiberOne, and every other one are creating academy just to help and shape the future. I think FiberOne is doing FOTA. They call it FOTA. Maybe when they were about to do 3.0, I can share the link so that they can join, because it's like
thank you very much, sir, for that opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be 1 month of intensive classroom training. The classroom training is going to do the theoretical part of all this. Then from there, we are going to have a practical class where you'll be moved into different sections. All these are paid for. For all this time, you will be paid while you are learning. Yeah, you'll be paid.
That's a good opportunity.
A little bit above minimum wage. And after 6 months, it will be reviewed. And after a whole year, the certificate will be issued. I'm part of the faculty in that space, and I can tell you whenever it's ready. But the only problem is it is in Lagos. It is in Lagos. So that's the only problem. And we have for May 1 too. We have for I think one other wave 2 to Africa, and we have a lot of them like that, because to get even the know-how, the technical know-how in the market now, it's very difficult. So what we are doing is we'll train them. They will work for us for a certain time. If you don't want to, you can go, and they are embedded. So it's like a secured path to employment and to greater things, for you to be more innovative and to create more things in the future. As like I said, the future is bright. Just ensure you are dedicated to whatever path you choose. This is not the age to be master of, what do they call it there? Jack of all the matter.
Jack of all trade, master of one.
No, you cannot be jack of all trade at this pace, because being a child of trade it will distract you from what you're supposed to learn. If you are in network. If you are in cybersecurity, be in cybersecurity. If you are in pure telco, be in your telco. Don't mix. You cannot do Yoruba will say amulumala. You cannot do amulumala. Thank you.
Our online audience have some questions. And this is coming from one of our students. So we have a student asking from fiber optics class, after the training, would you be willing to take them up for internship in your organization, or could you refer them for internship in your organization when they are done with their training with Speedlink?
Okay, the training is with Speedlink.
Yes, they're actually undergoing a training right now with Speedlink. So this is coming from our students.
Okay, yes. So if they are based in Port Harcourt, we have facility in Port Harcourt where they can go. So, but we cannot take more than 2 to 3 at a time.
Okay. That's nice. Thank you very much.
Except they are located around Lagos, then that we can take more than that.
Oh, that's perfect. All right. Thank you very much for that opportunity once again. So any last words for our viewers and our audience?
So in life, whatever you do, it's either is a clap or a slap. Whatever you do, just ensure you hand a clap and not a slap. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So what do you think about recommending Speedlink, seeing how equipped our facility is and how we have the equipment to equip students to take them on trainings on fiber optics, cybersecurity, and some other courses that we offer? How would you recommend Speedlink to our online viewers?
I have been part of Speedlink since I think from its inception, but not as a partner and not as a managing partner, but as part of support system. And I know the basis and I know how it started, and I see a lot of improvement. And I would strongly recommend Speedlink anytime, any day. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Ibrahim. And now, to wrap up this segment, we'll be hearing from our final speaker, Mr. ThankGod Ibeh, who will be taking us on the next generation creators, video, streaming, and the new digital workspace. Good evening, Mr. ThankGod. How are you doing today?
Good day. It's nice to be here. And thanks a lot for the opportunity.
All right, so you're very much welcome.
I'm happy to be here.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, Mr. ThankGod is a media technical director, is a creative strategist, and a digital empowerment advocate with extensive experience in screen and stage design, live streaming, VT and playback operations, and broadcast media system. He has worked with global media technologies and brands such as Blackmagic, Design, Adobe, Renewed Vision, New Tech, and vMix, supporting high impact events and digital production across Africa. He's a co-founder of StarLab Academy. Mr. ThankGod leads initiatives that bridge the gap between education and employability, empowering young people with digital and creative skills. Thank you very much, Mr. ThankGod, for joining us this evening for this section. You're very much welcome.
A lot as well. I just want to say, okay, it's StarLab
Mr. ThankGod, are you with us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, we've been hearing a lot about you and how you're doing in the multimedia space. Can you tell us what your experience has been in the multimedia space?
Yeah, so I think I got into the multimedia space from the design perspective. I'm someone that is very good at design, so but everything graduated from just artistic design, graphic design into broadcast design, and that exactly positioned me in the multimedia, like say, industry this time. And I think the journey has just been beautiful. Just like I said, since anything that has to do with multimedia has to do with visuals, what you see, and that is exactly what resonates with me. So it's been fun, but I think the growth is it for me. From broadcast design to live graphic design, and now in fact, I'm more in love with live production, and I would say that is almost the whole story around that for me.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So, Mr. ThankGod, we are all aware that the multimedia industry is changing rapidly. Can you guide us on the new trends that are defining the multimedia and the digital media space today?
Yeah. Did you know what? The shifts is from passive consumption to massive, personalized, and utility-driven content. I think that's just what will I say? What summarizes the new trend? It's gone beyond just I just want my content to be out there. It's gone beyond just passive content for anybody to just consume. No, I think it's more of something you are trying to. I mean, the new trend has to do with more with creating content that's personalized, content that can even make your viewers to get addicted to it, so they are hooked to it. And I think that's just the drift. I would just mention a few things that's as will I use the word that has made up or that brought about all of this trend. One thing that we discovered is the use of short form vertical video is now a primary content format. Like, because we want to produce content that are mobile first and appealing to users. The use of vertical video is dominant online, and you can see it's in TikTok. Yeah, you see vertical videos and the introduction of reels on Facebook and YouTube Shorts. So it's really telling that that's exactly some of the things that has come into the market, into the whole stuff. I think another thing I should mention is about monetization. I think there's a little draft, or not a drift, I would say, for monetization. The monetization model now has gone beyond just simple hard revenue, and is now focused on direct fan engagement. And you see payment can be made apart from just the normal monetization from platform holders or owners. You can always get direct payment from even fans that get to engage with your content. But more to that, talking about live content itself is now more interactive. I used to see how people just get themselves connected to, they just go live on Facebook, go live on TikTok. And yes, that is exactly the new trends today. There's a rise of live streaming, interactive pools, watch parties, and beautiful stuffs that allow real-time participation. And I think that these are some of the new trends we are in multimedia. I will not fail to also mention that some of the social platforms are also doing something new. They are trying to use data and AI to deliver hyper-specific contents. Like they want to be very sure they are meeting the right people with the right content. And they are using data and they're using AI to ensure that is there. So because that is now is helping content to be recommended to people that really need them. So, and is leading to the rise of niche creators. So it means people begin to create content for specific kind of people. And I think that's some of the things. And lastly, let me say, especially because multimedia is something broad, I will say that today, because of what is available, anybody, anywhere can produce high quality content. And without having to break the bank, without having to have a big studio. I think with the mobile phone and some softwares, one can always have that. So those are the little drifts and contents, beautiful contents can be produced because of these shifts. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So we are in a world of artificial intelligence, like you mentioned earlier, and augmented reality and virtual reality and automations. Can you tell us how this has changed the way creative professional can actually work and aim?
I will first of all say that technology itself is not just a tool. It's a co-pilot that automates the mundane and is freeing up creators for higher level work. And AI, like you mentioned, artificial intelligence, it's not there to help everybody do the whole job. Like it's instead there to free up time, for more work as well. AI today is helping for efficiency. So AI can now handle the initial video editing, captioning. In fact, few weeks ago, I used that for script generation, in which you could this time, perhaps we're not able to come up with captions for videos, and AI can just try to get texts from speech, and that kind of, so AI is trying to soften just that. And I think most LLMs, that's the large language models for AI today, are also now designed and built to also help brainstorm when it comes to having good video ideas, drafting scripts, and even generating marketing copy. So now all of these are there to, so I think that's some of the things that I can mention. Technology has aided in creative work, but not just AI. You also mentioned AR and VR and AR, that's virtual reality, and the rest of that. Yeah, we've also seen that creative professionals are moving into creating 3D assets. Yeah, virtual worlds and augmented reality filters, like that of the Snapchats, looking at Instagram filters for brands and entertainment. You will see that, people now want to adopt some of these virtual, or I'll call them augments, into production. Yeah, and I remember there's one of my students a few years back learned I would like to say a tool we call the Unreal Engine. Yeah, which is a good tool, a powerful tool that is used for photorealistic backgrounds. So, and that's a win-win for those that are going into big film production, in which with just your blue screen or your Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine.
Unreal Engine.
Unreal Engine. Yeah, so it helps to create photorealistic background for production. So it means with just green screen in a small room, you can see acts and later use all of this to create whatsoever you want the actor to interact with. So and some of these beautiful things, technology, as you mentioned, AI, VR, AR, and the rest of that, they are really doing they're doing a major stuff in the multimedia space. So technology requires this new type of creative professional, one who is both a creative thinker and a prompt engineer. So, and because of technology is coming in, so how it should help everybody in this space. Now, you are not just a creative professional. You should be a creative thinker and as well a prompt engineer, in which you'll be able to leverage some of these skills as possible, as much as possible, even in this industry.
All right, sir. So some years ago, little was heard about live streaming. It was basically reserved for exclusive people. But now you see that live streaming has now become a major part of the digital content creation. And we currently have students undergoing training in this field of multimedia and live streaming, broadcast solution for about 6 months now in our intensive training. And live streaming is a major focus. So can you enlighten us how young creators or brands can effectively leverage live streaming?
Okay, I'll quickly say this. Live streaming, if you look at it, it builds intimacy and loyalty, and like it is today, it's even helped for immediate monetization opportunities. I mean, it brings about immediate monetization opportunities. Like on many social media platforms, if you can see, you can gift those that are streaming live, you can gift them, and which can be converted and monetized into funds and the rest of that.
Okay.
So, leveraging on live streaming and social media for growth would mean, will I say, doing the following things I'll be mentioning. And one is the idea that consistency is key. Yeah. If anybody wants to leverage live streaming and for content creation, especially in the multimedia space, then that person must be ready to set a regular schedule, because people want to get so familiar with anybody that is going to be involved in live streaming on a particular time, on a particular date. Like, oh, you're saying, you know what, I'm having Tech Tuesdays, 8 p.m. And everybody knows that. Oh, so it's consistency matters. That we fix a regular schedule and we stick to it. So this builds anticipation and routine for even the audience. But not just that, prioritizing engagements. Let it go beyond just the idea of one, like lecturing. Live streaming has gone beyond just putting a camera in front of you and just making a presentation. To the world today is seeing live streaming as a different and a very different one, in which they want to engage. They want, in fact, let chatting be the co-hosts, because you want to be able to acknowledge users by name. You want to answer questions in real time. You want to run polls. You want to integrate user submitted content. This transforms the users, the viewers, into a community. So, and that's one of the things I should mention. Then another thing I should also mention is to repurpose aggressively. So, live stream itself is just like a raw material. Live stream itself is a raw material. So clips can be cut out, like key moments in the live stream session can be cut out for TikTok, for Reels on Facebook, and in fact, polished summary for YouTube, and can be even transcribed to become main points for posts on LinkedIn. So you see, these are the ways that we can leverage even live streaming itself, apart from the fact that, consistency, apart from the other part which I mentioned, which has to do with engagement, prioritizing engagement in live stream. You want to hear from people. You want them to know that it's live, and they can believe that. Another thing is that you want to have extras from that and push it out. Then I think the last thing I should say that I should talk about based on this question is monetization pathway. Yeah, they can we can leverage on platforms that are already embedding some of this gifting. Some of I think some of them now put memberships into this into platforms, into their into their softwares, and one can just use it as a way to get direct fan support, which perhaps could be the highest margin revenue stream even today, unlike every other way it's been working before now. I think that's those are ways young people, anybody that is intending to go into content creation, can begin to leverage live stream itself. Yeah. You're welcome.
We've been talking about this. So now let's just go to the big picture. Everybody's interested in, when I learn this, what's next for me? So, Mr. ThankGod, hope you're ready to guide us on this part. And also, questions have been coming in on what career paths exist in the field, and also what career building strategies would you recommend to students explaining multimedia career in this evolving space? This is a question from our audience. So I don't know if you can talk more on it. And also, if you'll be available to act as a mentor, as you and your firm, be available to act as a mentor on their journey in this field.
Okay, this is like so many questions in one. So, okay, first of all, I would mention, if I'm going to say anything about career path, I would say career path in multimedia today has gone beyond the traditional video creation and editing. Like with the few things we've said earlier, it has gone beyond that. So today, I use the word when I was mentioning about how every creative professional should think. They should be more of creative thinkers, and at the same time, they should be engineers. They should be prompt engineers in which they can leverage AI in producing content. So that's for the career path. But I think I will dive more into the latter questions, which has to do with career building strategies for students. The goal is to build a visible portfolio and a network that leads to opportunity. I cannot emphasize the need for portfolio building. As a young person in this field, wanting to scale up and wanting to leverage on all of this, I think one of the things is to build once again, to build a good portfolio. That is, the project you finish is more valuable. They should know that the project that is finished is more valuable than even the project that is perfectly planned. They should be able to dive straight to starting. That is, the portfolio should reflect the current trends, remember? And that's exactly some of the first thing that I mentioned in this, is that short form and vertical video, they tend to hook the audience, the viewers, and those that perhaps going to be watching, or will I say consuming their content. Then I think another thing I should mention as some of the strategies, career building strategies for students, is being involved in volunteerism and collaboration. I think that's one thing that I also, even with some of the experience I've got, I still took advantage of that lately. I looked at some big brands and big organizations, and I am like, oh, I think I can volunteer here, and because it helps for networking as well. So volunteering and collaboration, it offers, will I say, it provides reward experience for starters, and it helps them to and not just that, not just experience, it also helps them to build high quality portfolio. So which is very, very important. And I just mentioned that I did that I did that so many times lately, volunteering for volunteering to play a particular role in some big organization. Not just that, networking should be seen in a different way. Networking shouldn't just be what one intends to get. I think networking now for young students or people that are already diving into this industry should be what they are ready to give. So networking, because I think that's the best form of networking. When the other person you're networking or you're trying to connect with also knows that you've got something to offer, it becomes very, very strong and intimate. Like, oh, you are not just networking with or trying to connect with someone because you want to get something, you want to get a job, or you want to get an opportunity, but you're also interested in that because you want to give something, you want to share knowledge, you want to promote others, you want to promote their work, or perhaps you want to even build something reliable. So it is very, very, very important. Then I think another thing I should say is today we see many young creators just doing diversified building, or let's say creating diversified content. I don't think that works if we're to connect with what works today. I think what is very important today, specialization, especially in a particular niche, is going to be very, very important. So instead of being a general content creator, a general editor, one can become an expert. Oh, you can say, oh, I'm an expert in real estate video marketing. I'm an expert in creating educational animation for primary school, and an expert to whatever kind of content that will be created. Is beautiful to have in niche. So niche, when I say niche expertise makes one indispensable. So because people get to know you for a particular niche, it means when it has to do with that, you are the best and the right choice. So I think that is important. Then lastly, I would say freelancing can be used as training. Yeah, freelancing can be used as training because there are many things they perhaps would learn along the way. And some of them is like you want to learn how to really initiate client feedback. You want to know how to implement them. You want to learn pricing. You want to learn how to manage professional expectations. So sometimes freelancing gives all of those things. And one can use platforms like the Upwork, Fiverr, and the rest of that to get some of this feedback, learn pricing, and how to manage professional expectations. So these are some of the content. Will I use the word content building strategies that students can imbibe or inculcate as they advance in this multi or content creation or live streaming journey as well. I don't know if I answered all the question. Then I think you mentioned for mentorship. Yeah, mentioned for mentorship. Yes. I wouldn't want to say no to that. Yeah. So it's a little bit dicey. Yes, sure. Always very, very interested in also assisting and helping to build young people. And I think one of the things I started doing lately, because of some of the opportunities myself personally and my team begin to have with some organization, home and abroad in Africa and the rest of that, it's also a platform in which some of these other growing creators can take advantage, and all that I just mentioned can be implemented when it comes to networking, collaboration, and freelancing. So yes, I'll say yes to that. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm sure the audience will be very happy to hear that, and also our student. Thank you very much, sir, for that opportunity. Okay, so we've come to the end of this session, and if there's nothing you took home, you should take home the strategies on how to leverage multimedia, social media, and also monetization. Thank you very much. All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much to all our amazing speakers for those insightful and inspiring section. We've really had time exploring digital careers for the future. And to everyone who joined us this evening, we appreciate your time and active participation. As one of our speakers mentioned, Speedlink High-Tech Solutions Limited is indeed a recommended place for professional digital training. And we're excited to announce that registration is now open for our next batch of training, which begins in February 2026. At Speedlink, we offer a variety of hands-on courses which are designed to equip you for the tech industry. And those courses include web development, cybersecurity, cloud computing and AWS, data analytics, graphic design, UI and UX design, multimedia and content creation, and many more. If you'd like to join our next training cohort, kindly visit our official training website at www.speedlinktraining.com to get more details on how to register for the next batch of training. Don't miss this opportunity to start or advance your career in tech. February 2026 is the perfect time to begin. Before we officially close, it's my pleasure to invite our CEO, Ms. Maina Ijeh, to give a closing remark and wrap up today's webinar.
Wow. I really don't know what to say. Tonight has been really impactful and insightful as well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for joining in tonight's section. I hope and I believe that we are living with new ideas and inspiration about, the many available opportunities in the digital world. So whether it is now cloud computing, cybersecurity, or content creation, from this section, we've already gotten that, the future is already here. It's not coming, it's already here. And there's room for everybody willing to learn, explore, and grow. So I want to give a big shout out to our speakers for tonight. Your ideas, your experiences that you've shared with us, it has really impacted us. It has contributed to whatever existing knowledge we already have. So thank you very much for that. And then for our listeners, those that participated, registered, it's been amazing having you also. I know that you too, you've gotten one or two from tonight's section, and I hope that you put it into use. Thank you all for coming. We at Speedlink, we truly appreciate your time and your energy. So until next time, please stay tuned. Remember that we are innovations unending, so we always have something in store. You can follow us on our pages, on our social handles at Speedlink High Tech Solutions Limited, and stay glued to us. We have a lot in store for you. Thank you all, and see you in the next webinar series.
Thank you very much, Ma, for those insightful words. And with that, we've come to the end of the October edition of our monthly webinar series. Once again, a heartfelt thank you to our CEO, Ms. Maina, Ijeh, and our amicable speakers, Engineer Ibrahim Salami, Engineer Daniel Oni, and Mr. ThankGod, Ibeh, for those insightful sessions. And of course, to every participant who joined us today. We look forward to seeing you again in our next edition as we continue to create opportunities and build capacity in the world of technology. Till then, stay consistent, stay curious, and keep building your digital future. My name is Isiguzo, your host for today's webinars. Thank you all, and have a wonderful evening.